Hi, Jeff.
Hey, Devin, how's things?
Many people are thinking about what going back to work looks like. For me, going back into the office in New York City, I don't know at this very moment when that might be, what that might look like. Would I be legally required to go in after some time? I bet tons of people are wondering the same thing.
Yeah, it's a great question. Millions of American workers are legitimately concerned about not wanting to go into an enclosed space with a bunch of other people. For now, there's no blanket right to refuse. I mean, if your employer says come to work and there's no statewide order not to, you think you might have a hard time refusing. I spoke to quite a few employment lawyers, and what they're telling me is that they're telling their clients, business owners, to be very careful. They can ask their employees to come in. However, the lawyers are advising them not to do that if the employees can legitimately work remotely. For those who do have to come into offices, for instance, in a barber shop, you can't cut hair remotely, or a dog salon or something like that, employers should be providing the maximum amount of safety protection, not just in terms of equipment like sanitizers and masks, but also implementing social distance procedures like we're seeing in grocery stores.
How are lawyers advising business owners to think about work safety?
Lawyers are telling me they strongly advise business owners not to make blanket orders to have people come in. And if employees object, to treat those objections on a case-by-case basis. The situation will be different for a healthy 20-year-old versus a more older employee who has diabetes or asthma or something like that. If that's the case, employers might have to make special allowances for those people. There's also a lot of employees have children and are unable to, come into work because they have to have childcare. Congress passed a law, and the president signed it, saying that employers have to provide paid family leave in those cases if schools are closed. I spoke to a woman who worked at an interior design firm in Texas, and she said that her boss, even in the face of a statewide order, told employees to keep coming in. And you'd think that would be illegal. However, the reality is it's come in or lose your job. And that's the unfortunate part, is that while, employees have some legal protection, especially how it works at the federal level is you can call an agency called OSHA and have an inspector come in and say, hey, this is too dangerous to work. Reality is, though, it's going to be hard to get the inspector right now. And with 25% unemployment out there, a lot of employees are not going to want to rock the boat. I think the bottom line for employers is be careful. Don't, simply because the governor says the state is open, tell people to come in. I think a lot of business owners, too, part of their identity is having, an office or physical location and have their workers show up there. That's what they're used to. But the new reality is, remote work is here to stay, and especially as the outbreak continues. And then also, there is federal labor law. If you, get together with another employee and say, hey, we're asserting our rights collectively, that will provide you a bit of a shield. It would be worth talking to labor lawyers or unions about what your rights are in those cases. The reality, however, is there's going to be a lot of people working for firms, small or even big ones like Charter, who are going to face pressure, and it's going to be an uncomfortable situation for millions of American workers in the next year.